Gemini, here to do your December reading. Hope you're doing great. I like to start these things out kind of using randomness. So I randomly went to the bookcase, randomly picked out a book, randomly picked a page to read from. You are the sign of communication, known to be very creative, leaning towards the side of journalism, maybe teaching, even linguists. So I thought reading from a classic novel might be appropriate today. It was random, but this is what came out. Thomas Mann, Dr. Faustus. What a great book. So I'm going to just read something. I have no idea what it is, what's going to be. See if it relates to your reading today too later. While the hostess told all about the young lady that she had taken in, they visited the cow barn, took a look at the horses, and cast a glance at the pigsty. They even walked over to the chicken coop and out to the beehives behind the house, and then the friends asked what they owed, and were told not a thing. They thanked her for everything, and bicycled back to Losche to catch their train. They both agreed that the day had not been wasted and that pilfering was a remarkable spot. Okay, so what can we get out of that? Anything that relates to the sign of Gemini? Well, the hostess told her all about the young lady. The young lady is a woman who had trouble in childbirth in the paragraph above. It's kind of like gossiping. Okay, who knows what'll come up. Before I roll the dice, let's take a peek at the two pieces I chose today to keep us company while rolling dice. In the back we have the Nine of Swords. These are both your pieces, of course. And the Page of Swords, the letter. The Page of Swords, actually it can relate back to gossiping, talk. It's a young energy. Pages are younger energy, sometimes immature energy. In this case, I chose to use a letter, the old-fashioned communication. I think of it as a love letter. Gemini is a sign of the lovers. And the Nine of Swords, pretty heavy piece, no matter how you look at it. Upright and reverse. It's definitely about conflict. It's a 9, so we're nearing the end. 10 is the culmination. Things were bad in the 8 of Swords. In the 9 of Swords, things have even escalated. Could be nightmares involved. Things, in the mind, all about the mind, intellect, communication. But it's on the destructive side. There's a sense in this piece that these are repetitive thoughts, maybe. Back and forth, back and forth. Could also have to do with shame. And that makes it hard to share with other people. But it could be the way to release this pain and this burden. Hopefully you have someone you can speak to. It could be a friend, family member, anybody. Professional, if it's gotten that heavy. You probably heard all this being an air sign. It sounds really heavy, but we don't know what we're going to get in the cards today in my 3D pieces. We're going to pick 5, then pull some clarifying cards and an oracle card at the end. So let's roll. What messages do we want for Gemini today? That looks like 4 in reverse. It's in reverse because this is the odd number. Odd numbers are reverse. Even numbers are upright. Okay. What messages can we get from Gemini today? What do they need to know? Oh boy, another reverse, same 5. 13 in reverse. I'd like to get you some positive messages here. But what we're really after is the truth. What we're really after is what you're after. There's an upright. 32. 13, 32. 1. Got a lot of 3s here so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 we have. Okay. What does Gemini need to know? 42 Upright. Good deal. 32, 42. One more piece for Gemini. Whoops. One more piece for Gemini. Let's use the other hand just for fun. Oh, reverse lap. 5 keeps coming up. 45 in reverse. 45 in reverse. Okay, Gemini. I'm going to go to the boxes and pick out the corresponding pieces and come back with your reading. Okay, we're back with your pieces. So, I always like to start off by saying, if you feel like it, just take a look at the pieces yourself, pause the video, and come up with your own story based on just what you see here. I try to do the same, though it's a little harder for me, because I do know what the pieces mean. So I'm going to keep this kind of brief, this part anyway, then we'll go to cards and see what happens. First I'll go through them quick and tell you the names and the meanings. Pretty amazing what happened. Well, first of all, in the back right corner, the blue envelope, the letter, that was the piece we used in the beginning, as you remember. And just to make sure I don't get the same pieces over and over, I do a lot of things to mix it up. So I used to start with the box on the left and go in that direction, left to right, through the 3 boxes. This time I started from the right hand side and went through the boxes, just to see, try to keep it very random. Well, when you know it, your piece came up. It was the last piece. That's a Gemini piece, and the first piece is a Gemini piece. So this is definitely you. You showed up in your own reading twice. Other things I noticed right away is there's an awful lot of white in here, which feels good, like brightness. When they talk about interpreting dreams, they say pay attention to the feel of it as far as the lighting goes. If it's real dark, that means things might not be as clear, could be a heavier energy. Then on the opposite end, if it's very bright and shiny and feels like normal life or even brighter, that's a very positive sign. And here I have to say we have a lot of reverses. There's only 2 upright. Everything else that doesn't have a U is going to be read in reverse, which tends to be negative energy. So there's definitely some kind of trouble in paradise here, especially starting with the lovers in reverse. There's no cups here. There's no water, which usually relates to emotions and love. But we do have the lovers, and it's a major arcana. So I would say this is probably about love. There's only 1 pentacle, 1 fire sign piece, and air. So this might be more about you than somebody else. A lot of times you pick up the energy of who is on your mind. Here we could say, well, maybe there's an earth sign with the 2 of pentacles, which is the hand balancing the 2 coins. That's Capricorn. And the whack-a-mole on the right, far right, is not Sagittarius, that's Aries, I think. Yeah, that's the 3 of Wands, that's Aries. Let me just go through them quickly. This is you, the lovers. In the center, the mouth open. That's called the Angel of Odd. That's a special piece. That's the 79th piece. In general, it has all the elements, as you can see in the mouth. Kind of looks like it's laughing at us. And I got the idea from a story by Edgar Allan Poe, where he writes about the Angel of Odd, who is basically the angel of God, who is kind of messes with us throughout the day. Mostly little things. The light bulb goes out just when you need to turn it on, or you spill something, or seems like everything you do takes 2 or 3 tries, like just tons of annoying little things. I always promised myself I'm going to write them down because I can't even believe how many of these things happen every day. But anyway, that's who he is, he or she. Then we have the whack-a-mole, 3 of Wands, fire sign. That's about focus. So when you go to hit the whack-a-mole, his head pops up. You need to be focused, right? That's the whole thing. Somehow that and your intuition has to be ready. Like you have to know almost where it's going to pop up before it pops up. Very active, you got to be fast. It's like the energy of making an attack. Not a violent attack, just to attack something, with your full energy. And the 3 is a sign of success, early success. Could mean teamwork as well. There's 2 pieces here that could signal a third party, and that would be the 3 and the 2. You would know best, of course, So then we go to the 2 of coins, the 2 of pentacles, balancing the 2 pentacles on the finger. That's Capricorn. It's also Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of good fortune. So definitely choices here, because choices also is what the Lovers is all about. So that pops up in 2 places. And it also has to do with balance. And to regain balance, we have to do the work. It's very important. And it also has to do with before we do anything small or large, we need to have balance in our life. We should always be balanced. That's what we should strive for every day. That means eating right, sleeping, feeling good in our mind, bodies, hearts, spirit. And then the last piece in the back, we talked about earlier, the Page of Swords. It's in reverse, so it does tend to be about communication. It's a person who, in the upright, is very gifted with words and very smart and alert mind. But in this case, those attributes are used as weapons. It might feel good to pounce on somebody with words because it's almost like artful. You're good at that. But, without being in balance, if it comes out too quick, without thinking, taking that little time to think, it could backfire down the road. Then again, it could be the opposite. This could be the opposite meaning where using silence as a weapon, the silent treatment, or your words not really having any substance. Because it is a page, it's young energy. Okay, so I'm going to give you my overall read of this, kind of in a nutshell. Based on what I feel and based on what I see here, feels like some bad choices were made, and it feels like karma's coming in, but almost like death by 1,000 cuts, like the Angel of Odd here. It's like 20 things a day, all these little things, all these things are piling up every day. But they're mostly in the mind. They're not physical, hopefully. There's no water here, like I said, emotions. So it's mostly in the head. The only water I see here is the imaginary water the Lovers are swimming in. I would say communication is definitely part of the problem because of the page. And that usually relates to, just gossip, hurtful words, fights. And this could relate to a lover, a spouse, family members, friends, neighbors. But with the Lovers, I don't know. They say it could be anybody, but I believe it's between your significant other, the person mostly on your mind. Definitely have a choice to make here. That comes up a few times. It's funny, I just said we. I guess if you think about it, usually in matters of the heart, 2 people do have a say. One can walk away from the other, but the other can decide, is it worth, trying again? Is it worth fighting for after cooler minds prevail? There's teamwork here, but there's teamwork, the 3 of Wands and the 2 of Coins. That's more like, 2 people is more like a partnership. 3 is a group. It is possible there's 3 people. You know best. At least from your side, you don't know maybe what the other person's up to. Before making a final decision, like I said, it's best to be balanced, like the 2 of Coins here. Pentacles, coins, that's the slowest energy, and that means it's good idea to take time before making decisions, using the head, the heart, spirit. And that could mean, instead of sending back that text in 3 minutes, you wait 3 hours or maybe 3 days. But you can't wait too long because not making a choice is making a choice. And that could also have long-term ramifications. Okay, so I think that's the basic thing I see here. Your ideas are just as valid, maybe more so because you know what's going on. I'm hoping, we'll throw out some ideas, some crumbs here, and maybe get enough crumbs you could make something out of that. Chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, something tasty. All right, so I'm going to get some cards here, already shuffled. The Hermetic Tarot, yeah. I'll shuffle a couple more times just to kind of activate these cards. Oops. of loud. Hope I didn't hurt your ears. Okay. What's Gemini need to know? What are we going to clarify here? I think we should clarify the Lovers and Two of Pentacles. Think about choices. Figure out what's going on. Maybe you don't know what's going on with your person. One more time. All right. So I'm going to shuffle, look for a popper, something to pop out here for us. Whoa, I'll stop the whole deck. One card for the Lovers. Here we go. We have the Queen of Swords. Wow. Pretty cool. That's you. You can be the Queen of Swords. I'm going to move this down a hair. Very interesting. She's all about words. She is an interesting lady. Kind of a tough lady. Speaks her truth. She's holding the head of a man. He's a beastly looking fellow. Take a look. See that head there? What else is going on? It's a little hard for me to see. I'm behind the camera here. Looks like I had too much coffee again. A lot of clouds. Clouds to me signify something's not clear. Or it could just mean like vapor from the air. She does have a sword. It's kind of resting on her shoulder as opposed to sticking straight up or pointing out. Sometimes it points straight out. So she's kind of at ease. Of course, she did her nasty deed already. Dastardly deed. So, but she's definitely about communication, cutting words. They say she could be single, widower, but ultimately she speaks the truth. She's a queen, so she's been through a lot. They say this queen has been through more than most. Okay, let's see what else we get here. One more card. One more for the Two of Pentacles. One card for the Two of Pentacles, please. One card for the Two of Pentacles. It's amazing that card came out when you think about it. It just seems like all this is natural, but, you know. There's 78 cards here. And it's like having two decks when you use my 3D pieces. Okay, what can we get for Gemini? Get for Gemini today. Help clarify this reading here. This one is Justice. Another good card. Seems right. Justice is kind of like making a choice. Call her the daughter of truth here. Justice is an air sign, Libra. Of course, it's all about balance again, balancing the scales of justice between what's right and wrong. When Spirit steps in, hate to tell you, but justice will be done either way. You still have free will. You can change it, but at some point, Spirit will step in and do what's right, whether you like it or not. I like when the Justice card appears. And you notice both these cards are upright. Can't take that for granted either. You know, justice, it's about the truth. And they say the Queen of Swords is all about truth. Could be about law, actual courts or law, legal papers. But it can also mean cosmic order, fairness, aligning oneself, which is, again, it's kind of like balance, but aligning with a sense of inner purpose and cosmic order. Ultimately, thinking about the entire reading could be about what's clouding justice here, what's hindering doing the right thing or getting to justice. That might be what we need to think harder about. But again, not too long, because justice will decide. The universe will decide for us. Okay, I think we should pull a Moonology card today. Yeah. I think they're a little better on advice. Here's the book. And the cards are beautiful. I did shuffle it before, so I'm just looking for a popper right now. Okay, what advice or information can we get to pull this together? One card, please. I like waiting for poppers because, again, it's randomness. Well, it feels like it, but it also feels like Spirit's picking the card, not me. One card, please. One card. One card, please. We need patience. I could always use more patience myself. On a Sag and a Sag card, Sag Major Arcana is Temperance. It's all about patience. So that either means we need more patience or supposedly we have some. Alright, we'll take this one. This one is Time to Breathe Out, Disseminating Moon. Beautiful. Take time to breathe out. You could do that right now. Take a nice deep breath. Hold it and then let it out. Okay. I'm going to find it in the book and read. Keep it short. I never got this card before. Here's the balsamic moon. There it is, I found it. Page 36. Think of yourself as a vessel that has been filled more and more over the past few weeks. Some of what has come your way may have been wonderful, but there's also a lot of negativity, and you need to let go of this. Whatever situation you're asking about now, be honest about whether there are toxic emotions involved, which you need to release into the ethers. This card also comes with the promise that all is not lost. However, there are changes or adjustments required before you will get to where you want to be. A change of course is forecast now that recent events have been understood and acted upon. There may also be a crisis now which will remind you what you want and what it's time to let go of, so pay attention. Tune to the moon. I am reevaluating the situation. Additional meanings for this card: your life may be out of balance and this may be causing your issues. It may be time to hatch a whole new plan. Something new and exciting is around the corner. Gemini loves that. Trust may be required to move the situation forward. Trust. Well, I have to say, when it says your life may be out of balance and this may be causing your issues, I think that's what we talked about in a pretty big way here today. Says there might also be a crisis. Hopefully things are going okay with you and there's nothing too heavy going on. But if so, I think there's some advice here. Hopefully you have some tools in your toolkit to help you during difficult times and that you have people around you that you can rely on. We have to remember that loving ourselves is number one, that Spirit loves us, that love is in our life. Okay, that's your reading. Thanks for coming. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Love you all.